This is the Female Founder Show with host and entrepreneur Bridget Fitzpatrick, exclusively on ASBN.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Female Founder Show. In the studio with us today is a remarkable guest whose journey from content creator to author and successful entrepreneur has inspired countless individuals. She's the creative force behind her own brand, a passionate advocate for women in business, and you may recognize her as the charismatic star who found love on the hit show Love is Blind. Please join me in welcoming the talented and innovative Lauren Speed Hamilton.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, so great to have you. Now, for those people that are watching that didn't follow your love journey, can we talk about that a little bit first?
Of
How
course.
are you and Cameron doing first?
Me and Cameron are doing excellent. Next month will be our 5-year anniversary. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh, time just flew by, but we're so excited, and each year seems like it gets better than the last, so I hope that continues for the next 25 years, but he's doing great. He's doing
Your
great.
love and admiration for each other really comes through on camera when we're watching you on all of your multiple, on YouTube, on Instagram, and on the show, of course, but you really are an inspiring couple for anyone who is looking for love right now, right?
Yes, thank you. I mean, that means the world to us, just the fact that people not only, showed us so much love when the show came out, but just continue to really support and show us love. Like, it's priceless, and we're so grateful.
Yeah, and it's genuine. You can tell. It really comes out with both of you.
Thank you.
So, sorry we missed him today, but maybe next time.
Yes, he sends his love.
Good.
He sends his love.
Now, before you even started the show, you started your own company.
Yes.
So talk to us about what inspired you to start the Speed brand and find your niche.
Absolutely. So for me, starting the Speed brand came from, after I graduated college, I actually had trouble finding jobs in media. It was just difficult. I was kind of a new graduate, so it was either you didn't have enough experience or, you have a degree in this, so you're overqualified. So it was tough. So it just kind of came from an area of frustration where I was like, if I can't get the opportunities, I'm going to start to make my own. So I started to go out, find my own clients that were looking for, ways to tell their stories, different brands, artists who needed music videos, brand, small business that needed a commercial, and it worked out for me. My clients started to grow, the name of my brand started to grow. At that time, I was kind of moving around to different cities, so I would have clients here, have clients there, and I'm really happy that I did it because it taught me a lot about, first off, perseverance.
Yes.
Because it's so easy to quit when, doesn't seem like the doors are opening, they're slamming in your face. It's like, hey, you can always go through the window. If the door is closed, find a window or either build your own house, which is what I did.
So with the Speed brand, talk to us about what do you do? What's your everyday? Well, I know your everyday is all over the place right now because you're involved in so many things, which we're going to get to. But with the Speed brand, what specifically do you do for your clients?
Absolutely. So for my clients, basically, we help them with storytelling. We help them to have a voice for their brand, develop a voice. And if there is a product that they're trying to sell, we help to find the human aspect in that and help to get that conveyed to the audience. So like I mentioned, if it's a musical artist who's looking to shoot a music video, we'll help with the storyboarding in that, we'll help shoot it, edit it. At one point, I was doing the shooting, the editing,
oh my gosh,
the storyboarding. I mean, at this point, I've grown more, so now I actually have a production team that does that, and I take more of like a, creative director standpoint, but small businesses, like I said, we help them with commercials, even down to, pamphlets, paperwork, everything, anything that you need to tell your story, we're the creative behind that. So.
Nice. Well, thanks for explaining that.
Of course.
So there are so many areas where a brand or person can put their content or put their story, so to speak, with social media and, in different media outlets and things like that. How do you figure out, now you've got a huge social media following, and I'm sure you are on all of them, but how do you find and really specifically hone in on which platform is the best one to use?
Absolutely. That's such a good question because I look at it like this. This is going to sound funny, but it's really true. Social media is like having children or like having siblings, right? They each have their own personality and they're each good in their own ways. For example, Instagram, I kind of think of that as like my personal magazine.
Nice.
That's where I keep all my images. If I want to promote something, kind of use that with that type of storytelling. TikTok is more like a raw, trendy type of thing. It's a younger audience, but TikTok is also great for search engines. Like it's becoming the new Google, believe it or not. Like people will go on TikTok and search restaurants. They'll search clothing items that they want to order. They want to see it on people. They want to know people's real experience. So I kind of look at TikTok as just like a behind the scenes, fun way to sell, but more so behind the scenes because people want to know what's the real on TikTok.
Right.
And it's also great for trending sounds, like I said, because it's a younger audience. So if you have a business, it's good to sell your products through the trending sounds because that kind of helps to push the product. YouTube, I kind of think of that as if you have your own network, what would your shows look like? You know, so YouTube is like, you know, if you have a reality show, what would your vlogs look like? If you enjoy cooking, what would that look like? You know, so that's kind of how I look at it, which has really helped me because each audience is different. And I think it's so important to identify your audience, especially on social media, because it's all about connection.
Absolutely. And you have a show on YouTube, Hanging with the Hamiltons,
I
which is
do.
great. It's so much fun watching you all and all that you've got going on, both of you. From, you know, you've got a book together and you've just recently purchased your own studio, which looks amazing, by the way.
You.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, you've got so much going on.
Yeah.
And I know you've got some exciting new projects coming up. Can you tell us what you can about those?
Of course, yes. So it's always something new in my world, y'all. I'm always working. But for one, I have a new show that's coming out on Amazon. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be called The GOAT. And I'm also going to be launching my nonprofit this quarter, which I'm super excited. It's called the Eddie Robbie Foundation. And it was inspired by both of my grandmothers, maternal and paternal. But just, you know, growing up and even before me, they were known for loving on people, making everyone feel special, even if they weren't family. So I really want to continue that legacy myself by doing that throughout the community, you know, especially for women and children when it comes to mental health, financial literacy, since I'm so heavy in the art community, art and creative endeavors. So I'm really excited about it.
Well, congratulations. That's
Thank
exciting.
you.
And you are just like both of your grandmothers then.
Thank you. Thank you.
So let's talk about your content creation for a minute.
Yeah.
There has to be a level of consistency as well as creativity. Now, how do you maintain that without burnout?
Oh, it's hard. To be honest, I'm still trying. I teeter sometimes because, like you mentioned, I do so many different things, a podcast, this and that. But I learned that it's so important to really take the time to have rest and recovery because you can't pour into somebody else if your cup is empty, you know? So even if it's the small things, you know, if you can go on a vacation, that's great, but everybody can't go on a vacation, especially if you have a lot of things going on. So I find that just small things, even throughout the day, waking up, taking an extra 10, 15 minutes to meditate or journal, or if you have time at the end of the day to walk around your block or your street just to kind of calm your mind. And for me, since I do a lot of, you know, people-facing work, I find that sometimes isolation is good. Sometimes, even with my husband, I tell him like, hey, I need a day to just sit and be quiet and do nothing. And that really helps me just to kind of cut out all the noise and refocus, especially being a creative. Like that's where you get your fuel from. If you're burnt out, it's so hard to create and do things, or even just being a boss, a CEO, an entrepreneur, like that time is so important. Even if you have to put in your schedule, like next to your meetings, block off an hour. Hey, this is my me time. Even if you just gotta go in the corner in the bathroom and sit in silence, do what you can because it's so important to take care of yourself if you're gonna take care of others.
Definitely. I'm so glad you shared that advice because I couldn't agree more.
Absolutely.
Very much so.
Absolutely.
Now, also along with the being a social media content creator and all of that comes a little bit of the criticism and the negativity. And you are such a positive force. So how do you maintain that positive mindset when you've got that chatter out there?
You know what? It was really hard when the show first launched and we were kind of new into it, and the trolls, yes,
they're out there.
But you know what? I learned that, one, I try not to just sit there and read through all the comments. I know it's hard and all the criticism, but it's like, you know, either if you do it this way, someone's going to have something to say about it. If you do it this way, someone's going to have something to say about it. So I say just do what you love, do what you're passionate about. And honestly, the people who have negative things to say, it's really more so about them, and it has nothing to do with you. Matter of fact, I like to say it's none of my business. If you have a problem with me, that is none of my business. I'm fine over here. I'm happy. I'm doing what I love. And that's just the approach that I take, with it. It's like, your negativity will not penetrate
Love it.
You won't break my soul, like Beyonce,
By the way, you have a beautiful singing voice. I've heard you singing a few songs on the YouTube channel and things like that. And
thank
you can sing too?
Oh my God, a little bit. I'm a songy talker too.
Okay,
so sometimes
nice.
I just randomly burst out in a song.
Well, you've got the pipes, so why not? Right.
Thank you.
Now, with you being a content creator, you have a lot of brands probably reaching out to you.
Mm-hmm.
How do you choose brands that align with your brand as well as your values?
Yeah, I mean, first off, that's super important because especially for your audience, if they see you promoting something or partnering with someone that's kind of like, whoa, wait a minute, that's not you, that's not your voice, it can really turn them off. So I'm super careful to align myself with brands that really speak to the causes that I'm interested in, that really stand for the same things that I'm in. That's really something that I would use. I feel like so many people are like, well, it's a check, so I want to do it. That is the quickest way to lose your audience's trust. And I strongly advise against that. And plus, it's better. You want to promote things that you really care about, and people can tell. It's easy to read if you're doing it and you're just uninterested.
Yeah.
So aligning yourself with the right people, not even just with branding, the people who you have around you, your team, your friends, everything, when it's in alignment, it flows so much better and it makes your life so much easier.
Yeah, it makes it so much more organic because when I watch your, clips and things, it's always so seamless. Your creativity comes out as it just seems like it's just part of your everyday life. And then like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, right. It doesn't even feel
Right,
like you're looking at an ad, which is so important for me because like I mentioned earlier, I feel like social media is all about connection.
Yeah.
And you mentioned my niche earlier. I feel like it's just speaking to the humanity of people. Like I'm myself. People see that, they relate to that, and that's what they like. Like, hey, she reminds me of my cousin or my friend or me. Like, I like that. If she likes that, I may like that too, because she usually tells the truth and she's really honest. So I may check it out too. But those things matter.
Yeah, they do. Now, when you are working with brands, are you reaching out to them or are they mostly reaching out to you?
Most of the time they reach out to me. But there have been a few times if I see something that I like, I will reach out.
Why not, right?
For example, we got a piece of exercise equipment during the pandemic because, no one could really do anything. So me and Cam reached out to Bowflex and we ended up like getting a deal with them because we're like, we need some workout equipment and it worked. So
that's great.
Yeah, that's great.
Good.
Once again, in alignment because we really needed that workout equipment.
For sure.
So yeah, organic.
Now for those that are watching that might be thinking about getting into content creation or becoming an influencer, what advice would you have for them?
Oh man, my advice for people looking to get into content creation is to just start. Everyone has a phone at this point. It has a camera, it has a speaker on it. And the best thing that you can do is really just be yourself, speak how you feel on situations, start sharing your experiences. If you go out to eat, record it. You have your phone anyway. You're there taking pictures of your food like most people do. Upload it. There may be people who are looking to try that restaurant. They don't know if it's good or not. They come across your video, boom, you got 10 followers. So it's really just a building thing. And sometimes it may start slow, but I just encourage people, don't be discouraged. Be yourself, be truthful, be authentic. And at times it may call for a little bit of vulnerability, which can be hard.
Yes.
But there's power in that because that's where people really feel like, man, I went through that, or that's the same type of thing. And that can be expressed in your content in a way that is comforting to people. So I just encourage people to do it. Be yourself. You have the tools already, your voice and yourself. That's all you need, and a camera.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's that simple, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I get to work with my husband every day, just like you, and I know that Cameron is such a huge part of your success as well.
Yes.
Talk to us about how you make it work.
Gosh, well, it's hard at times. I think for us, we definitely went through an adjustment period, especially with how we got married because it was so soon. Yeah. And so we really had to have a few conversations just about at times, depending on the project, I think who would be taking the lead at times, because it's hard when you have two people that have big personalities or are alphas, trying to lead in the same project. So I think just having honest conversations like, hey, this is my expertise, I think I'm going to take the lead on this, or vice versa, and really working together as a partnership. Yes. That has made such a huge difference for us, because I think at first it was like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And also, aside from that, just really, if you can, which is hard when you work with your significant other, try to separate work and home, which is one of the reasons why we got our studio. Because prior to that, we were kind of working from home, both of us, and it was just like, when are we working? When are we the married couple? When are we the business partners? So we kind of, even though those things mesh together, it really helped us having a designated area where it's like, okay, I'm going to go here, I'm going to do my work, and then I'm going to come home and be a wife, so that really helped us a lot. That's even if, in your house, if you just have a separate office room, it's like, okay, when I'm in here, I'm doing that, I'm in work mode. When I'm at dinner, we can talk about being married.
Even during the pandemic, my husband and I, we had a studio set up in our basement.
Oh, nice.
And we would leave there at 5 o'clock and go upstairs, and then we wouldn't go back down until the next morning. And it really helped helped us out, kind of separating that work from the home life balance, which we needed so badly then.
Absolutely. I know it was a point for us where our house started to feel like a set. That's when we're like, we need a outside workspace. And just, drawing firm lines and communication. When you did this, it made me feel a little bit uncomfortable. Just the conversations are really important. That's just in a marriage in general, but especially when you work together.
Yes, definitely. Now, speaking of working together, is there anything for those thinking about maybe working together as a couple or bringing their spouse on or their partner on to work with them, was there anything that surprised you that maybe we could tell our viewers that?
You see, anything that surprised me working with my spouse, honestly, that once we were able to get in a good rhythm, it's so rewarding. It's so awesome. It's like working with your best friend. I know you and I were kind of talking off camera, but it's great when it's like, man, just having someone who has your back, wants the best for you, wants the best for the business. You guys are synced up. It is so rewarding. So if you have the opportunity to do it, I would do it. Just be sure you talk about things and talk them through the process. I think that's
So let's talk about the next 5 to 10 years. Where do you see yourself, you and Cameron, down the road?
Yes, well, the next 5 to 10 years, I want to take over the world. No,
actually, and I think you will. But I would believe that.
I just want to continue to grow as an entrepreneur. I have so many business ideas in my mind that I'm looking forward to bringing to fruition. Nice. Of course, growing our family, doing more things for the community. That's why I'm so excited to have my nonprofit and really contribute to the world, because anybody can have a platform and just be there, but I really want to use my platform as a vehicle to help others, and I'm so passionate about that and just growing as a woman and a businesswoman. And so the next 5 to 10 years, I hope to be mogul status.
I believe you will, and I cannot wait to watch your journey unfold.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us, Lauren, and we hope to have you back on again with Cameron. Maybe we can talk a little bit more about what's going on in your crazy life, right?
We'd love that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is the Female Founder Show with host and entrepreneur Bridget Fitzpatrick, exclusively on ASBN. If you're a female founder and would like to help other female founders with your inspiring story, we would love to hear from you.